Hi guys, happy December 4th, Vlogmas number 4, Vlogmas. I've been calling it Vlogmas, but it's with an M, Vlogmas. Happy Vlogmas day number 4, and it's snowing here. It's December 4th, and I'm going to make this really quick because it's cold out here. There's a slight breeze, and I didn't check the temperature when I first came out here, but just a little bit ago it was 31. So we got a little bit of snow this morning, and then it stopped, and it's been coming down for a little bit like this, just kind of, you know, not too bad, but just kind of steady for probably a couple hours or so. So I'm going to make this one short because I want to feed and get inside before it gets dark. And yeah, I have. Okay, so I had said yesterday in that video that I was going to talk about some questions that I tried to remember for going to pick up Romeo and Star. And maybe in the next videos, tomorrow and the next day or so, I'll talk about some other questions that you might want to ask if you're buying a new horse. This is a different situation because I already knew Romeo. I had already had him. I didn't know Star that well. So, but these are some of the things that I wanted to know. And these things kind of go for if you're buying a new horse too. So, some of these things that you'd want to ask. I didn't ask some of the other things that you would want to ask if you don't know the horse. Like an example would be, how long have you had the horse? Why are you selling the horse? I already knew that, and they weren't selling him. I was just getting him back and then taking on Star, which is the little girl that lives right over there, my little mare. And anyway, so one of my main things was, what kind of hay do you feed and how much? Because I think it's like important to try to keep everything as close to the same as possible when you get them, just so it's not as stressful, because they're going from one place to another, which can be stressful already. So if you can try to do everything as close as possible to what they're already used to, that's a good thing. So I wanted to know, like, what kind of hay they fed, you know, because there's a difference between grass, alfalfa, and mix. And it helps to know how much, how many times per day do you feed. Do you feed green? What kind and how much? Because I usually feed green. I feed Safe Choice Special Care. And you can see that in my morning feeding routine. I show what that is. And, you know, because if they're not used to getting grain and you just throw them some grain, you want to introduce everything slowly. And I didn't know if they had been being fed grain or not. And if they weren't, I was going to add it in really slowly. And I did anyway, just because my green was different from theirs. It ended up they were being fed green, but it was more of a sweet feed. And you always want to just kind of introduce things slowly. And when was the last time they were trimmed or shod? So you need to know that so you can keep on the schedule of getting their feet done. And one of my main things was, do you blanket? If so, when? Now Romeo is 10. No, wait, he's 11. He's 11 now. He was just turning 11. No, 10. I forget. He left the day before his birthday, and I think he was 10. He's 11 now. He's going to be 12 this coming up year. So yeah, that's right. So he was 10. He had been blanketed all of his life, and then come to find out, I don't think he was blanketed as much as what I did. So I know in the past he had been blanketed and he was okay with that. So when I got him back, the first thing I did was put a blanket on him. And little Star got blanketed when it snowed. That's what both of them did. Both of them got blanketed when it snowed. So she's still not blanketed because she's over at Carolyn's, and she seems to be doing pretty good. We're kind of afraid if we did blanket her that one of the other horses might tear her blanket, and then it would scare her and not be a good thing. So I haven't blanketed her yet, and it's like, it's snowing today, and it's like, oh, I might try to do that like the next time it gets nice. And today I even tried to, I wanted to get her and bring her over here through the gate right there. Wait, right there. And bring her over here to our property and, you know, see how the other horses acted, get her used to coming over here. I'm in the tie-up area right now just because I don't know if you guys can see the snow coming down, but it's coming down pretty good and it's pretty steady. So I have my tripod under the tie-up area, and I'd like to get her over here and tie her up, get her used to being over here and start grooming her and spending time with her. And I tried to do that today, but as soon as she saw the halter and lead rope, she kind of like turned around. So I stopped and waited. And so that's our next thing that we need to work on. And I'd like to bring her over here and put the blanket on her. The people I got her from said that she was fine with the blanket. You just tie her up, throw the blanket on, and she's good. But because she's not used to me, I haven't really tried that yet. I want to get a better connection with her. And so that was one of the things that I asked, do you blanket? And yeah, so she's the only one that doesn't have a blanket on. And if you're new watching this, these are just some questions I tried to remember to ask when I went to go pick up Romeo and Star 2 weeks ago. It was 2 weeks ago today because it was a Tuesday. And are they used to heated water buckets? And do they kick? I know Romeo, but that could be a question that you would ask too. Do they kick? So I was asking that about her. Does she kick? How is she with bathing, getting her feet done, hauling? Can you touch her anywhere? She said yes, you can touch her everywhere. Another thing, can you clip their ears, bridle path, nose, legs? How are they with other horses? Star is a little bit, she gets attached really quick, and she's a little marish, but when I got her too, she was more in heat, which I didn't see that when I went to pick her up because she was with Romeo and had been around Romeo for a long time. But once she got over here and over in Carolyn's place, she was next to, she's not next to my horses. There's like a pretty big gap, but she was like right next to, with just a panel in between. Carolyn has 2 horses, so she was next to one, like that close. And then Carolyn's been alternating her horses back and forth. One night Bailey will be there, the next night her gelding will be there. So she has a mare and a gelding, and she alternated them back and forth each day. And lately though, I think it's just been Bailey, which is kind of good. I think Star maybe feels more comfortable with Bailey. But she likes Chico too. She attaches like really quickly. And I just wanted to kind of give her a couple weeks over there. I did get a halter on her and spent a little bit of time with her a few days ago. Well, probably about 5 days ago or so. And it went well. But she's one, when she sees the halter and lead rope, she wants to leave, which to me isn't a good sign because, all of mine, if I walk in the pen, if I call them over, they come over. They love getting the halter on, love getting out because, it's not just a a work thing or a bad thing. They get grooming, they get to spend time. We have fun time, we have work time, of course, but I don't think she's really experienced that as much and like really gotten that connection with a human. And so when she sees that, she goes to like walk off, and that's what she did today. And it started snowing, and I had my phone on, so I did take some video footage, not live, but it was video footage on my phone, just from this angle, which you couldn't really see that much, but I stayed over there for just a few minutes, and it was snowing and I was cold, and I just was like, I just want to go inside. So, yeah, that's as far as we got for today. So, anyway, how are they with other horses, which I kind of know how she is. She kind of gets attached, and she was marish when we got her in heat. She would kind of paw and squeal with Bailey and Chico, and is she spooky? She beginner friendly? And do you feed them with other horses or separately? So she's supposed to be, Star is supposed to be beginner friendly, and Romeo is not. I already know that, so I didn't have to ask that about him. He is not beginner friendly. He definitely needs somebody experienced, and they were feeding them together, but Star was eating most of the food. And in situations like that, if one horse eats more than the other, I think it's a good idea to separate them, just maybe only when they eat. So each horse gets what they're supposed to get, because Romeo was a little bit on the thinner side, and he is a hard keeper to begin with anyway. And yeah. And I think that's all I could think of. I wrote this down yesterday. It's all I could think of at that time. I could have asked her other questions when we were there, but that's the only thing I could think of. So those are some good questions too, that if you're going to buy a new horse, that you might want to ask. And possibly tomorrow I have some general questions that I have here, that if it's a horse that you don't know. And Romeo I knew, so I didn't have to ask these things. Star, it didn't make that much of a difference, because I kind of felt like I was going to get her anyway, because she was beginner friendly, and they had been together, and yeah, and she was free. Who passes up a free horse? Not me. If I don't have to. We had the space, so and I just thought, if she got here and didn't work out, that we could rehome her, find her a different home. But I'll have some more questions that, like, if you're buying a new horse, that you might want to ask when you go to see that horse. And yeah, I think that's about it. But can you guys see the snow? Oh yeah, you can. Like right over there. You can see it coming down. Yeah, and it's cold. And I think it's supposed to do this like all night, so it's going to be chilly. So I think I'm going to have a day off tomorrow, because I don't like to drive in the snow. Not because I can't, it's just because people, especially out this way, it just seems like they drive crazy. Yeah, they like go zooming past you, and then usually there's 2 or 3 or so wrecks or cars off the side of the road, just because the roads are kind of like bad out here, and then people just drive fast. They drive too fast. And yeah, and if I don't really have to drive in it, I try to avoid it, just so I don't have to do that. And I've been kind of looking at like different places here. It's like, I don't know if I should look here. I think that's my little thingy right over there, but yeah, is that it right there? Am I looking into the camera? Anyway, well, nobody's here. There's been like one person here and there. But I said I would do every day for Vlogmas, but if nobody is gonna show up or say anything, I might not do every day. So if you want to see these every day, you have to like come and comment and give me thumbs up, because I'm like doing this instead of feeding my horses. It's it's probably about 3:30. Well, yeah, it's probably about 3:30. Somewhere around there. And it's going to be getting dark soon. And they just had a snack a little bit ago. And yeah, was just hoping that somebody would come on and say hi. Do you like my hat? This is the hat that I wore yesterday. But I have red on today. Red jacket instead of white. I had white on yesterday. And I went and got hay earlier. I videotaped that. So that's going to be a video I'm making. I still have to make the video with going to get Romeo and Star. And if this keeps up like this, I'm not going to work tomorrow. So that's something that I'm going to work on tomorrow. And probably Thursday too. So maybe I'll get a couple videos up of that. My face is getting frozen. Yeah, there's just like a slight little breeze that's making it colder than normal. And with the snow and no sun, it's like, ah. So, and I even have my Edgeness Pro pants on with the fleece lining, and it's still cold. I came out this morning. I was so excited because I've been able to get some pants on that I wasn't able to get on before. And I thought, my Snowbird Pants and I didn't realize this until I started thinking about it. When I first moved here in 1996, I used to snowboard every weekend. And it was something that my boyfriend at the time wanted to do. He's like, let's go take snowboard lessons. So I'm like, okay. And we would go every weekend. And these pants, these snowboard pants, were from 22 years ago. I was like, I did the math in my mind today. I'm like, gosh, I haven't thought about that in a long time. They're 22 years old. My waist was like really tiny then, and they fit good. They're extra smalls. And last year, I would wear them because it was really the only thing that I had that was like warmer than like jeans or whatever. And I could only get them zipped up like halfway, and then I put a belt on at the top, and they were tight. They were tight in my butt. These aren't them, but they were tight in my butt, and just, yeah. So they've been hanging on the back of my bathroom door for a year. And just lately, I've like put on some pants that I couldn't wear before because I'm like at my lightest weight right now. And a year, a year, and at least since April that I know of. But I know, and that's of this year, but I know last year I could have been even heavier. But yeah, I thought, some of my other pants fit. Let me try these on. So I took them off and I put them on, and that's when I was like, gosh, how long have I had these? And they're like 22 years old. And I'm like, wow, I've had these a long time. And I got them on. I could zip them up pretty much all the way. If I buttoned them, they were kind of tight, so I didn't button them. I just left them zipped up, and I did the belt. But they were loose. Like the butt was loose, and yeah, they fit pretty good. So, but the only thing I didn't remember, and maybe because I didn't like realize, was these right here. They're fleece lined, and they're just like warm up against your skin. And my Snowbird pants, they're not fleece lined. They protect you from the snow and wind and wetness, but the inside of them. It's like my legs kept touching the inside, and it was like cold. And it's like, oh yeah, that's right. I used to wear tights underneath them. But these Edginess Pro, I think that's the name of the website on Facebook, Edginess Pro, and they are fleece lined, and they are like warm and cozy. But even out here, it's like, yeah, there's just, I'm fairly warm, but it's like my face is like frozen, and it's like my mouth isn't working the way that it should. Yeah, it's kind of, yeah. Okay. So I just wanted to get on here and do Vlogmas day number 4, and nobody's here. I was so excited, and I posted on Life with Horses TV Facebook page that I was going live, like about probably 10 minutes or so before I came out here. And I also posted on my YouTube channel the community tab. And I don't exactly know how that works. I don't know if you guys see that, like if it's like a notification like you get when you get for videos. And if you're not getting those things, make sure if you're subscribed, well, first make sure if you're not subscribed, subscribe. And then when you do subscribe, make sure you hit the little bell icon, and you'll see a little thing happen with the bell when you hit that. And lately I've done it on my computer for some channels, and it'll say, when you hit that little bell, it'll say, do you want all? I think it has the middle box checked, you know, where it's just like occasional. And then it'll have something else. And I think it has something at the bottom, maybe that has to do with the community tab. But I just check if it's a channel I really like. I just check the all, because I want to see everything from that channel. So then whenever they post something, whether it's on the community tab, whether it's a picture or just a little written thing, or if it's a new video, you get all the notifications. So I always just check all. I don't know if it does the same thing from your phone. If you're doing it from your phone, I don't think it does, because I've done a couple and I haven't noticed it doing that. But once you subscribe, you have to kind of wait, and then I think it shows you the bell. So the computer's a little bit different than the phone. I noticed that most of my subscribers watch, or viewers watch, from phones and not as many computers. So it's a little bit different. So if you want to make sure you get all notifications, try to do it from your computer so you can check that little thing for all, and that's the top one. And shoot, I was going to say this in the beginning, but I forgot. Maybe I should do this whole thing over again, because nobody's really been here. So I could just like stop it and delete it and do it again. But I was going to say, because when I was inside, I was looking, and I looked at my subscribers. See that? Ooh, my mouth is getting frozen. I looked at my subscribers, and it was at 49.93. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's like 7 away from 5,000 subscribers. And I wanted to say that in the beginning, because I know a lot of people won't watch this to the end. So I might stop this and restart it and kind of just say that, and maybe just point people to this video for the questions, or I might just redo it. But yeah, I'm getting like sidetracked because it is cold. My mind and my face and my body, I might have to go in and warm up a little bit before I come back out and feed. And let's see. Yeah, Chansey was out here waiting for me. When he heard my voice, he was out here. But I noticed he's back in his house now, which I don't blame him, because it is chilly. Yeah, everybody's in their house. Baby's over here. Well, Mousie's not. Baby's in her house. Chancey's in her house. I think Romeo's in his house. My mom's horse is over here, and I think I hear the mailman. Yay! I'm going to end this and do a new video.